Using habit trackers correctly will utterly transform your life. I would know. I've been using one for over 850 days consistently. At the start of my sophomore year of high school, I was a directionless, broke, weak, and lonely porn addict, and I needed something more than a quick fix or hack. I needed to holistically alter the direction of my life. After coming across another creator who talked about how he transformed his life through a dopamine detox, I decided to start my own, and part of that was using a habit tracker every day consistently. So I can now say with confidence that a habit tracker is one of the most impactful but quick and easy techniques you can implement. That is, if done correctly. If not done correctly, you will waste massive amounts of time and be pretty discouraged because you're not seeing any progress in your life. But later in the video, I'll show you the mental shift that I had to go through to get myself out of the degrading cycle of wasting time. Quickly, how does a habit tracker work? Basically, you just grab a piece of paper. On the left-hand side, you write the number of days in the month. At the top, you write the habits that you want to do, and you draw columns. If you're wondering what habits to include, I'll go over that in a little bit. I've tested more and less habits, and I think the sweet spot is around 6. Any more than 8 is going to be really hard to do and borderline unproductive. And anything under 5 is completely fine, but I think over time, you're probably going to want to aim for more. And just either throughout the day when you do them, or at the end of the day, you check off the ones you did and you X off the ones you didn't do. It's really as simple as that. Make sure to clearly define what counts as doing the habit. If it's not clearly defined what counts as working out or what counts as meditating, then it's easier to justify checking it when you didn't really do any substantive amount of it. And that seed can start to grow a tree of dishonesty with yourself, where you'll justify checking off habits when you're not actually doing the habits to the degree which is going to progress you. As a quick example, I have deep work on my habit tracker, but it's 90 minutes. So if I do less than 90 minutes, it doesn't count. If I didn't define it, then I might say that I did 20 minutes of deep work and that counts, but 20 minutes isn't what I need to progress my life. That makes sense? The habit tracker is really overpowered for a couple of reasons. Firstly, and I think this is something that most people forsake, but a habit tracker keeps the productive aims of your day at the forefront of your mind. For probably a little less than a year before I started using a habit tracker, I would say that I wanted to journal the next day or wanted to meditate the next day, but I'd forget. Or I'd fail at a bad habit and try to make up all lost progress in one day by overdoing all of the habits. But the key word there is habits. You don't level up your mental health by meditating once, and you don't create a physique by working out once. Whenever I would use this method of ambiguously setting goals of the habits that I wanted to do the next day, I would forget. Or I would feel burnt out because I wouldn't see the immediate progress that my teenage boy brain needed, which in reality is one of the other most important things a habit tracker does. It gives you another way to track progress. It's extremely difficult to start doing something and continually do it if you don't see any progress. But with each check on your habit tracker, it's like a new way of seeing progress. And it's nice because there's a visual representation, a physical, tangible representation of your progress. And that feels good. It's genuinely motivating. And if you're struggling in life, it's a really good way to help you realize that you have power over your life, that you can actually make change, and you can have an impact on who you are. But Noah, what do I put on there? It depends. It's goal dependent. I made a video ranting about this a couple of months ago, but to boil the entire video down, basically just because you see other creators doing certain things doesn't necessarily mean you should. You are trying to design the life that you want, not some other person's version of success. Keep that in mind. That being said, there are a few habits that I would highly recommend because I think these habits raise all tides. They're pretty much beneficial for everybody. I can't think of a scenario where they wouldn't be beneficial. We'll put it that way. Exercise. If you don't now, I completely understand why you wouldn't quite get why it's so overpowered, but it's literally one of the most life-changing things you can do. And I mean exercise as in pushing yourself, not walking for 3 minutes on a cardio machine. I mean actually pushing your body. From helping you build discipline with yourself, to helping you earn love and trust and respect for yourself, to helping you attract a partner, to just feeling better all of the time. I cannot stress how impactful this is. I could make multiple videos just on exercise and working out and stuff, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it here, but just put it on your habit tracker. Just do it. Meditation. It might sound wooey, I know, but it has genuinely changed who who I am. Essentially, the process is just choosing something to focus on. I usually choose my breath. Losing focus, realizing you've lost focus, and observing those thoughts, and then refocusing. So I'm breathing, I realize I've lost focus, and I'm thinking about schoolwork or something, and then I refocus. That's one rep of meditation. It's practicing mindfulness, being aware of your thoughts, and focus, being in control of the stream of your thoughts. This has been proven too, but meditation is single-handedly one of the most powerful tools when it comes to building new habits or breaking bad ones. It gives you the ability to take a step back before you act and make a wiser decision. Think about how powerful that is. Journaling. I could and I plan to make many videos exclusively about the topic of journaling, but there are an insane amount of studies about the positive side effects of journaling. From increasing your memory to raising your baseline dopamine to a bajillion other things, journaling to gain clarity or gratitude journaling, just recording instances that you were grateful for in that day. It's so impactful. I genuinely believe it's changed my life. And I think most people know that. I think most people inherently know that journaling would benefit them. And after doing it for over 900 days, I can attest that it does. There are so many other habits that are beneficial, from most importantly reading your Bible or waking up at a certain time or doing deep work or cold showers or whatever. But let's just make sure we start with those. Make sure any other habits you pick are directionally helpful to you achieving your goals or just leveling up as a person. I should warn you about a trap that I fell into though, that literally wasted months of my life. See, when I started, I was initially pretty zealous and fired up to start using my habit tracker, and I would make an actual effort to hit each habit every day. But at some point, the habit tracker went on autopilot. Or better yet, using the habit tracker became a habit, which sounds good, but I got to the point where I realized that I was using the habit tracker unintentionally. I was not making an effort to do the habits, but I was just checking off and Xing off what I happened to do or not do that day. I hope you see that there's a distinction between using the habit tracker as a guide to help you remember to do the habits versus using it as a record of what you happened to do that day, but not actually letting it help you remember to do them. Although this is kind of a wordy and complicated realization, this problem literally wasted months of my life. I was just checking and Xing without any thought as to whether I was actually making progress in these habits. Because in the same way that you do anything like the gym, you want to progressively overload. You want to get better at each of the habits. But if you're not using the habit tracker with the intention to do the habits on it, it's a waste of time. And like, I save my habit trackers in a folder, and I mean, I have them from 2022, I think, like a ton of them. And the goal is to be able to look back at your past habit trackers and see progress, see more consistency, see the habits becoming more rigorous, and you still doing them. Alex Hormozi has this quote about building a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. And if you want to upgrade your identity and self-image, it's really cool to be able to look at a folder of progress, of tangible progress. You could be like, I was here last year, and look at the things I'm doing now. It's a little off script, but it's so huge, and it becomes a way to gamify progress. Once you see this month you only checked 3 boxes of meditation, you're like, well, that's kind of stupid. There's a bunch of red X's. There's one column of red X's and everything else is green. And then you kind of want to one-up yourself. You're like, well, I would like to see more checks, so you do it more. Once you kind of view failures and successes as data points, it becomes a lot more fun, because then it's like a farming video game. You're just racking up points. But I think that there is one more thing even more overpowered than a habit tracker, and that's scheduling the time in your day to ensure that you hit every habit, because I assure you it's possible. But that's a topic for another video. I hope this brought you value. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.